Okay, so I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about something that I don't feel like is talked about often. We make a lot of content about men and bad relationships and toxic relationships and blah, blah, blah. You see a lot of that, right? But I want to talk about the friendships, the female to female or male to male, the platonic friendships that bring you down that people don't really talk about. I once had a friend who I cared about so deeply, and I felt like she cared about me so deeply too. But for some reason, I could not understand why every time I got around this girl, I felt so anxious. We could be just sitting, like chilling at my house or whatever. She's cool in it, just, enjoying the space and the air and the energy and all that. And I am frantic over here and I'm not understanding why. And before you say, well, maybe it was a you thing, that was my first thought. I was literally like, maybe it's a me thing. Maybe I need to go inward and see, is there some type of hidden emotion there? Is there some type of envy there? Is there some things I need to go to God about? Or some things I need to come to myself about? Go to Jesus moment? All those things. Did all of that. Could not find it. Our friendship ended up ending on something very... it was like it didn't make any sense for it to be the end of a friendship, at least from her end, for her to basically like cut me off without a word or go ghost on me or whatever. From my end, it would have made sense because what was done to me was a little bit trifling, and I took a step back. And when I got myself together, I came forward to try to have a conversation because I'm like, I don't want to end this friendship or whatever. No response, no reply, no nothing. Next thing you know, it's been more than 2 years now at this point, but I, for the life of me, couldn't understand until after that friendship had ended and I started making other close connections as an adult. Like, as far as how close we were, I hadn't been that close to somebody once I got out of college in a long time. So that was a new friendship in my adult life, was close as the ones that I had developed in college. So after that, and I started developing other adult friendships that were healthy and were just as close. And I started realizing that I don't have those feelings with these other friends. I don't get anxious with these other friends just from us just being around each other or just hanging out or whatever the case may be. I don't feel that. There were also some other things too, feeling like there was a little bit more being given from my side than what was being given from that side. Don't give me that. Relationships are not transactional, because they absolutely are. Whether it's an exchange of energy, whether it's an exchange of whatever, you get something and you give something out of all of the relationships you have. So it just doesn't have to be materialistic or monetary. I just feel like we do a lot of focusing on, oh, this man was taking so much energy out of me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what about them friends you got around you? What about those so-called sisters that you can't even go to in a bad moment because they're secretly laughing at you and relishing in your downfall? What about those people that only want to come to you and talk to you when they're going through something, but when you're going through something, you don't have an outlet? Let's talk about that. Let's make more content about that. Let's tell the girls how to avoid those things, those types of relationships, how to heal from those friendships and those types of relationships, because we already know that these dudes, it's a circus out here. We know that. But let's talk about these friends. Let's talk about these so-called amigas and how calling everybody your friend or your amiga or putting all of these people into your friend group just because y'all have chemistry, just because y'all vibe well or whatever, or they're cool people or whatever, does not always work well in your favor. You should be vetting friends just as you're so-called vetting these men or these women that you're dating. And I'm not saying that it needs to be a grueling process. Are you my friend? Do you really care for me? Are you going to show up for me? Da, da, da. But you do need to pay attention to people's actions and people's words, as well as how they treat other people and how they treat their other friends. Let's start talking about that. Anyway, this is Stupid My Favorita Bobby here. That was just on my mind, so I had to blab my mouth. I just like to talk. And thank you for coming to my TikTok. Bye.